Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome to this channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for being here. And if you're returning, also thank you so much for returning. I appreciate all who are tuning into this video. May you find what you need here. If you don't find what you need here, no worries. Click off of the video and maybe you'll be guided back at some time in the future when messages align. So I'm all for timeless readings here on this channel, okay? And I just set the intention that it'll reach anybody who can receive messages from what I'm saying, what's coming through. So this reading is going to be messages from a motherly figure. Okay, so this could be someone that you've been thinking about, whether they are on the earthly plane or in the spiritual plane. This could be someone who's been mentoring you or guiding you in some way, or maybe this could be a relationship that is strained and you're just kind of wanting to tune in to talk with that person's higher self and see if you can get some sort of resolution or some sort of wisdom, advice, something. All right, so I'm just tuning into a motherly figure, somebody on your mind, somebody that wants to connect with you, and we'll just go ahead and see what comes through. All right, that's how I do it. Let's go. Okay, we got King of Pentacles. And we got Six of Pentacles. Hold on. We've got Six of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. So 9 and 6. And we've got King. So we have 3 Pentacles that jumped out. Clarify this here. I don't know if this person typically wears a hat or a head covering, scarf. Somebody's coming through with coverage over their head. Okay, clarify this message here. For some of you, it could be a black scarf or a black hat. Complacency. Okay, so this person, let's see what they're saying here. We've got 9 of Pentacles and we've got 6 of Pentacles. I feel like this person is coming through to tell you that you could be more generous to others than you are with yourself. This person is coming through with a little bit of tough love, because I feel like they're saying that you're wasting time. I'm just wording it how they're saying it. So you got the complacency card here, where this is the card of like you're letting life pass you by. You might be living with regrets or passing up on opportunities, and it could be due to you possibly following the lead of somebody else. Okay, it could be that you're letting somebody else take charge of your story, take charge of your plans. Could be going along with what somebody else wants to do, not really speaking up for what you want to do. This is also an indication of somebody who could be putting their life on hold because of other responsibilities. So maybe you have to take care of children, or maybe you have to take care of somebody who is ill or sick, something like that. It could be that you're in a situation where you are just essentially taking care of somebody else or giving more to somebody else than yourself, and that's causing your life to kind of be put on pause. Okay. What else? So they're just kind of wanting you to be mindful of that, to kind of give more back to yourself and be more generous to yourself, give yourself more grace, and also reach out. So this is just showing me somebody who's almost like buried under rubble, right? And if you look at their hand, they're reaching out towards this vine here. So I feel like you could be experiencing a situation that you kind of been dealing with on your own for a while. Like you might have hinted at it here and there, but you haven't really fully uncovered like really what's going on with you. So it's like a friend might know, oh yeah, you're doing that, but they don't really know how it's impacting you, what you're actually sitting with, and what's going on. So I feel like you're in a situation that you kind of isolated yourself or kept mostly to yourself. And so with the Nine of Pentacles here, there's this message of reach out to somebody, talk to somebody about it, ask for help, get support. Especially with this Six of Pentacles, like if you're somebody who's literally taking care of somebody else, or supporting somebody else, being generous to others, this is a time for others to be generous to you, to support you back. Okay. You don't have to keep giving and giving with an empty cup. Okay. So yeah, there's definitely a message here of you kind of putting yourself first, or really acknowledging something that you're experiencing, right? So something that's coming through is you know, when you're on an airplane and the emergency stuff goes down, you want to put the mask on yourself before you put it on somebody else. That's coming through. I don't know who needed to hear that or what that means for somebody, but yeah, something about putting the mask on yourself. Interesting. Okay, we also had King of Pentacles that came out. Let's see what I got from here. Okay, I'm not going to say that yet. I'm just going to get clarification first. What are you saying, King of Pentacles? Service, okay. You are carrying, so, you're carrying, look at this big old box of treasure. Your greatest gift is your empathy, your compassion, your heart. Okay, so this reading is not saying necessarily that, hey, you're being too generous, stop being generous. It's saying it's a superpower to be empathetic, sympathetic, to be a healer, to be in this kind of work, to do this, to feel for others. It's a superpower. It's what makes us human. It's great that you're doing that. But it's also saying just to be mindful of that you're carrying other people's traumas. You're carrying their hurt. You're carrying their pain, their depression. You're carrying all that for them. Okay, so there's definitely like a boundary here. So somebody here could be a transition guide or a death doula. And basically that's somebody who helps others if they're experiencing loss, grief, if they're like in hospice or something and they go and support them. So you could be doing some volunteering. And again, so it's coming up again. I said earlier, you might be taking care of a sick relative or somebody who was ill, or maybe somebody with disabilities or something like that. It doesn't have to be that. That's not everybody's story. But that is a situation that could be coming up through here for this reading. Anyways, the point is, you know, thank you for doing that. Your heart is so big. You're very passionate about that. And that's awesome. Thank you for doing that. Seriously. But just thinking about, you know, being able to release what is no longer in your control, right? So when you're supporting somebody, you know, you can lend them a listening ear. You can hold their hand. You can talk them through it. Give them some wisdom, you know, like you can do all that you can. But what this King of Pentacles is talking about is leaving it at that. And let me think of another way to word that. It's basically like having acceptance that you've done all you can do. Okay, so once you show up, you give them that compassion, that love, that support, that, you know, what you can offer them, you know, it's normal and it's human to bring that home and kind of wonder how they're doing, or, you know, this and that. It's normal, okay? But the message coming through is like, if you're able to accept that, hey, you did what you can, Okay, I'm going to go ahead and release that now. I'm not going to sit here and marinate on what I could have done differently or what I could have done more of, or, things like that. It's just, hey, I did the best that I can. I'm happy with that, and I do my best every day. I'm going to release any ruminating thoughts, and any energy burdens that are not mine to carry. Okay? So, yeah, there's a message of that coming through. Let me just say again, shout out to you for doing this kind of supportive work for others. It really is needed in the world. Okay? So, I mean, this can be what you do for a career, or it just could be you as a person, that you're just a generous person. Okay, so what other messages are coming through for those tuning in here? Okay, we got King of Pentacles again. King of Cups. All right, we got King energy. What are you saying this time, King of Pentacles? We got Service again. All right, so I'm going to tune in. Phoenix, new phase rekindled. Okay, so some of you are being called to this work. Okay, so the King of Pentacles is showing up this time as somebody who has packed their bags and is, honestly, okay, I'm just gonna say it, but yeah, the King of Pentacles is coming through as somebody who has packed their bags or packed up their intentions, their plans, and they've put it together. They've built a whole new kingdom or system for themselves. Okay, so the King of Pentacles values relationships. This is somebody who networks, who builds connections, relationships, and that's a superpower of theirs. They know how to plan, they know how to organize, they know how to show up, they know how to be a solid foundation. Okay, and so I feel like if this sounds like you or something that has been drawing your attention, I feel like you could be moving into a direction where you're not only like, just being a generous, kind person and loving person, King of Cups energy here, but you're doing it in a stable way. So again, I'm channeling somebody who is a death doula or a transition guide, where they really help people transition. Okay, so that could be if you're helping somebody forgive and acknowledge their former selves and step into a new self. If you're helping somebody transition out of a job where they could be grieving their old life, their old home, they're grieving a relative, they're grieving a pet, anything that has to do with transition into one space to another, I feel like you're being a support system for that. We have the service card, okay? It could be, again, somebody who is needing daily support, emotional support, helping them deal with changes with their body, changes with their environment. Changes in their reality. Okay, so hold on. King of Pentacles wanted to say something else. Oh, he was talking about earlier I had mentioned, okay, this could be you doing this as a career, or it could be you just being a kind person. But with him showing up again, King of Pentacles, I feel like you're being called to do this. There is career potential with this, elevation. Maybe if you already work in this sort of field, you can elevate in the field, or you can work for a different organization that can be aligned more with the kind of supports you want to provide with somebody. Okay, or this is about starting your own business in this way, where you'd like to support people in the way that you feel is aligned with you and what you've been helping others with. So there's definitely relationship building, but there's also a career opportunity here if you are thinking about that. And just again, we have the Phoenix here, so we have new phase, transformation, growth, changed mind. Okay. So let's see here. Okay, anything else that needs to be said here? Because we've got these cards twice. So anything else? Am I missing anything? Am I missing anything, King of Pentacles? We got Knight of Swords. Four of Swords. Okay, so they're reminding me again of the complacency card we had earlier. The Knight of Swords is somebody who is taking action on an idea, taking action on a thought, and look at him, he's pulling the sword out of his throat. So I feel like you have some sort of idea, or you want to speak out about maybe some sort of service that somebody's getting or not getting, treatment, maybe even for yourself. There's a little bit of advocacy that the Knight of Swords is coming through with. Okay, what else? He's talking about some sort of gentleness. What about it? Something about like, what are you saying? What are you saying, Knight of Swords? Something about gentleness. Passion. Okay, he just threw out passion. Let's see. I just feel like your words are very powerful, and they're very healing. And I feel like you could be somebody who feels like, maybe people don't want to hear what you have to say, or maybe people don't need your support, or you're not really adding it. Like you might have like a little, like some self-doubt to where you know that your heart is caring, and that you can be caring by helping somebody get dressed, bring them water, feed them. You could be caring in that way, but I feel like they're really bringing attention to the power of your words as well, and incorporating more of your words. So if you're okay, so here's something that's coming through. If you haven't told somebody you love them, there could be a male figure that needs to hear that. Okay. Yeah, so that just came through. A male figure that could need to hear words of affirmation, or that you love them, or just kind of your feelings about something. Because, like, especially if it's you're a family member, a father figure, a son, you could just kind of be like, well, it's given that I love you because we're related, or that I listen to you, or whatever. But it's like, no, sometimes people actually need to hear the words, okay? So Knight of Swords is coming through with kind of upping your communication around your generous deeds, because some people need it as words of affirmation and not just acts of service. Okay? Cool, cool, cool. Anything else here? Ace of Cups. Okay. The Star. You're definitely receiving some sort of guidance at this time. I'm seeing 1, 1, 1, 11, 11. Could be numbers that you're seeing lately. Or maybe 1 o'clock. 1 is coming through, especially with the Ace of Cups, right? We also have the Star, which is what? Number 15, 16, 17. 7 and 1 is 8. Okay, so 8 is about putting in the work for something, improving something. So you definitely already have the gift of the heart, but you can improve it or make it more powerful by adding your words, or expanding the way that you show love to others, and for yourself. Okay, especially with the Ace of Cups coming through, this is also a card of self-care. So as the number 8 coming through as well, you can also improve your heart space, or open your heart space a little bit more by caring for yourself. So, and what I mean by that is, so remember the King of Pentacles was coming through with somebody with this big old treasure chest, where he just kind of packed up all his stuff and moved. And the message earlier was about you kind of carrying other people's burdens. And so with the Ace of Cups coming through, it's allowing yourself to open up the treasure chest and be like, hey, this, it's almost like, okay, all right, now this message is going to be for honestly the chosen ones, the ones who really are going to resonate with this. So there are people in life who they're carrying burdens, they're carrying traumas, regrets, things like that. And it's light workers, it's the chosen ones, it's people with psychic abilities, people with open hearts, okay? People who can come to that person, take what they're experiencing, and rid them of it just with their natural gifts. Okay, and so what I mean by that is there are people struggling with traumas and stuff, and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know how to release it. They don't know what to do. And so, the natural response is to talk about it with somebody. And so you have the gift of taking their words, taking what they're sharing, taking their experience, holding it, holding space for it, and then releasing it for them. Okay, and so I feel like you guys could be skipping a step where you're doing that healing work, you're being supportive and loving, but you're not you're skipping the step of releasing it for them. And so that King of Cups or King of Pentacles has that big old chest of stuff that he's collected from people, but he needs to release it. He needs to put it into the earth. He needs to acknowledge it, forgive it. He needs to dispose of it properly, right? Because otherwise you're sitting in complacency, you're sitting with energy impacting your aura, and you're not feeling like yourself. You're not able to come through with your bright loving energy that you were once before. Okay, so this Ace of Cups is coming through of like, hey, pour some of that out. Okay. Ooh. And that's the thing with people who do healing work, supportive work. Boundaries is really important, and proper disposal of energy, proper cleansing. That's really important for that kind of work, just to make sure that you're not sinking so low in your energy so that you're able to continue the work, right? Okay, final messages here, please. Impatience. Eight of Cups. We got another 8 here. We got King of Pentacles again at the back of the deck. Last message here, please. Paradise. Okay, what's going on? So we got 8 of Cups. Oh, yeah, this is, so earlier I was starting to say something about you being, receiving messages, and then we were talking about the 111, 1111, number 8. So you got another 8 here, but this card is about like purpose, fulfillment, spiritual growth, spiritual cleansing, awakening. It's giving Tower and Hermit a little bit. So like the 8 of Cups for me is somebody who is having some sort of spiritual realization, and they kind of need to take space from others to really actually hear what's being said to them. Okay, and so the impatience card is coming through here, where it's like you're getting downloads, you're getting messages or sensations that are trying to support you in healing and happiness, and support you with your work on earth, your fulfillment, something that you're trying to build, perhaps. Again, remember earlier somebody was being directed towards some sort of volunteering or career opportunity around using these sorts of gifts. Okay, but I feel like with the impatience card, there's a message here about not waiting for the call, but like kind of. Let me reword that, because you're already being called, 8 of Cups. What is the impatience around here? What are they not being patient with? Queen of Wands. It seems like you could be dissatisfied with how something is going. You're dissatisfied with how something is going. And I wonder if that has to do with when we get heavily into working with others and taking on their burdens, then this is something that I've experienced where I forget to be grateful. And then practicing thinking of 5 things each day that I'm grateful for helps to bring me back into my heart space of like, I'm right where I need to be. Things are going the best that they can. I'm doing the best that I can. So like really kind of grounding myself. So I feel like, so the Queen of Wands came through, and you got impatience. The Queen of Wands can actually be pretty impatient. Um, but it seems like there could be some grounding that would be helpful. Especially, yeah, that makes sense, duh. If you're somebody who's dealing with a lot of emotions, a lot of water energy, earth, hello, is going to come through, help keep you grounded to where you're not being swept away by the emotions. Okay, especially with Queen of Wands, because although she's the element of fire, she comes through with, passion. She can be, and you got passion 2 times earlier. So yeah, she comes through with passion, and passion is a very intense feeling. Okay, so I do feel like getting, like, grounding yourself, um, and just kind of helping to recenter. I just kind of see you, maybe it might be helpful to sit under a tree, sit outside, kind of just sit without listening to anything, like no podcast, no audiobook, nobody talking, just kind of sit with your thoughts for a minute. Um, yeah, and I just feel like some grounding can help with that. All right. Final thing about this Queen of Wands here, just get a little bit more clarification, please. Knight of Pentacles. So you're moving in some sort of direction, because they keep showing me the complacency card. But you are having like thoughts. Let me not say thoughts because it's a Pentacles, right? But you are building on top of something. So you already have started something, but you might feel like it's not taking off or it's not moving along, especially if it has to do with relationship with somebody. Like maybe you have good intentions with supporting somebody, but you're still getting to know each other and trust isn't built. And then this also can go back to business, where you feel like you have the skills necessary to kind of elevate the process, elevate how you care for others, how the business supports people, things like that. But I do feel an element here of like, hey, you're doing the right thing, you're in the right place at the right time, but you could be a little bit impatient about your results. Okay. Okay, so what is overall advice here, please? Let's leave them with some advice, positive messages here. Advice from a motherly figure. 3 of Swords. Okay. Advice from a motherly figure. Ooh. We got Paradise. All right. Advice from a motherly figure. Completion. So definitely allowing cycles to complete themselves, especially with the 3 of Swords here. I love this depiction of 3 of Swords because on the bottom here you got somebody who is like hurt. They're looking at the sword that's harmed them. There's blood on it. Okay, so it's almost like they're dwelling in their hurt, but then on top of them is somebody pulling the swords out. Okay, so this card is like a cycle of healing where, okay, you get hurt, but then you also can pull those out either on your own or with some support from others. But it's a cycle of it being able to be healed, right? And so we do have the completion card. Again, of think something being put to rest, being grieved, being lost, but also being grateful for the time it was there. This completion card is very powerful for me because although a cycle is completing, something is being laid to rest, and she's grieving. There's a sunset here in the back, or sunrise here, to further complete that cycle of like, hey, this could be a dark time, but also the light rises, right? It'll always rise. So as far as advice, I definitely hear with these 2 cards, allow cycles to complete themselves, release what needs to be released, reach out for help and support. Okay. Anything else? Look to the sun. They said look to the sun. So I don't know if that's in a literal sense of like, hey, get some sunshine. Meditate with the sun or something like that. I don't know if that's in a literal sense or just kind of more of like a keep your head up type of affirmation. Like, hey, you're doing the right thing. Keep your head up. Practice gratitude. Practice releasing. Okay. So that is the message I've got for you here. Hopefully that resonated with you. If so, please leave a comment letting me know how, because again, I just do these readings and I don't know how it resonates unless you guys tell me. So feel free to comment. And again, if it resonated, feel free to come back to the channel as well. I would be grateful. All right, take care.